A vase falls. A plant topples. Something small and fragile meets the floor with a sound that instantly fills the room. And somewhere nearby, a pair of wide, silent eyes watches. Cats have a curious way of moving through life, graceful, mysterious, sometimes mischievous. One moment they glide like shadows across the furniture. The next, something crashes to the ground, and they vanish like smoke. But later, something changes. They return. They sit closer than usual. They blink slowly. They brush their head against your leg with unusual gentleness. And it leaves many cat owners wondering something strangely human. Can cats apologize? Life with a cat is filled with quiet little mysteries. They stare at empty corners. They sprint through the hallway at midnight. They knock objects off tables with the calm curiosity of a scientist testing gravity. And sometimes, they seem to cause a little trouble. A glass slides off the counter. A curtain gets climbed like a mountain. A forbidden houseplant becomes an irresistible snack. Yet shortly after these moments of chaos, many cats behave differently. They appear softer, more attentive, more affectionate than usual. It can feel almost intentional. As if the cat is trying to say something. As if they know. But the truth behind feline apologies is not quite what it seems. And understanding it reveals something even more fascinating about how cats think, feel, and connect with the humans in their world. Because cats do not experience guilt the same way humans do. They do not replay events in their mind wondering if they made a mistake. They do not sit in quiet reflection thinking about broken vases or scratched furniture. Instead, cats live almost entirely in the present moment. Their actions are driven by instinct, curiosity, play, and exploration. A moving object triggers their hunting reflex. A dangling leaf becomes irresistible prey. A delicate glass sitting on the edge of a table might simply look interesting. And gravity, of course, is always worth testing. Yet while cats may not feel guilt, they are incredibly sensitive to something else. Human emotion. Cats are masters of observation. They notice the subtle shifts in voice, posture, and movement that humans barely realize they are expressing. A raised voice. A sudden sigh. A quick movement toward the object that just broke. These changes ripple through the room like invisible signals. And the cat notices immediately. Not because they understand the concept of wrongdoing, but because they understand something even more important. The emotional atmosphere. When a human suddenly reacts with frustration, surprise, or disappointment, the energy in the room shifts. And cats are deeply tuned into these shifts. Their response is not an apology in the human sense. It is something quieter. Something instinctive. Reconnection. After a tense moment, many cats begin to display behaviors that restore emotional balance. They approach slowly. They sit nearby. Sometimes they make gentle eye contact. And then comes one of the most recognizable gestures in feline communication. The slow blink. To humans, it might look like a simple blink. But in the world of cats, it carries a powerful message. Trust. A slow blink is the feline equivalent of saying, "I feel safe with you." When a cat offers this gesture after a tense moment, it often signals a desire to restore calm between the two of you. The cat is not saying sorry. But they are saying something meaningful. I still trust you. I want things to be peaceful again. Another behavior that often appears after moments of chaos is head-butting. A cat gently presses their forehead against a human's hand, leg, or face. This behavior is called bunting. Hidden within a cat's forehead are scent glands that release a subtle chemical signature unique to them. When they press their head against someone, they are leaving this scent behind. It is a quiet declaration of familiarity, of belonging. In essence, the cat is saying, "You are part of my world." This is why a cat might become unusually affectionate after a small household disaster. They are restoring the scent connection, rebuilding the emotional harmony of their territory. Cats rely heavily on scent to understand their environment. Every room, every object, and every living being inside the home carries a scent profile that helps them feel secure. When something unexpected happens, a loud crash, a sudden reaction, it disrupts the calm flow of the space. And cats instinctively try to restore it. Sometimes they follow their human from room to room. Not out of guilt, but out of curiosity. They want to observe, to understand, to make sure everything has returned to normal. Other times, they sit close, closer than usual, perhaps curling beside a leg or settling quietly near the couch. This proximity is not random. In feline society, physical closeness is a sign of social bonding. Cats that trust each other sleep near each other. They groom each other. They share warmth. So when a cat settles quietly beside a human after a stressful moment, it can be their way of re-establishing that bond. A gentle reminder that the relationship remains intact. Of course, sometimes cats express this in slightly more playful ways. A sudden burst of zoomies through the hallway. A toy mysteriously dropped near your feet. An invitation to play. These behaviors may seem unrelated to the earlier chaos, but they serve an important emotional purpose. Play is one of the most powerful bonding experiences between cats and humans. It releases energy. It resets tension. It transforms a stressful moment into something lighter. From the cat's perspective, a shared play session restores balance to the environment. And balance is everything in the feline world. Cats are creatures of rhythm. They thrive on predictable patterns, feeding times, quiet afternoons, nighttime explorations. When something disrupts that rhythm, they instinctively search for ways to bring it back. Sometimes through closeness, sometimes through scent, sometimes through play, and sometimes through something even simpler: presence. A cat sitting silently nearby may not look like an apology, but in feline language, it carries deep meaning. Cats are naturally cautious animals. In the wild, sitting near another creature requires trust. It means lowering their guard, relaxing their senses, allowing themselves to rest in shared space. So when a cat chooses to remain close after a moment of tension, they are offering something genuine. Not guilt, but connection. In many ways, this is more sincere than an apology, because it comes from instinct rather than obligation. Yet there is also something quietly humorous about the way cats handle these situations. Sometimes the same cat who knocked the vase over will later curl into your lap as if nothing happened. Eyes half closed, purring softly, completely unbothered, as if the entire incident belongs to another lifetime. And perhaps, in their mind, it does. Cats do not carry emotional baggage the way humans do. They do not replay mistakes. They move forward. They reconnect. They settle back into comfort. And this ability to reset, to return to calm so effortlessly, is one of the quiet lessons cats offer the humans who live beside them. Life happens. Things fall. Moments pass. But connection remains. A slow blink. A gentle head bump. A warm presence beside you on the couch. These are not apologies in the human sense, but they are something just as meaningful. They are reminders of trust, of belonging, of the silent language shared between a cat and the person they have chosen as their companion. So the next time something crashes to the floor and a pair of curious eyes appears around the corner, watch what happens afterward. The quiet approach, the slow blink, the soft brush of fur against your hand. Cats may never say the word, sorry, but in their own silent language, they offer something deeper. A return to closeness, a restoration of trust. A small, gentle reminder that despite the occasional chaos, you are still their safe place. And in the quiet world of a cat, that may be the closest thing to an apology there is.